What's your cool intro for this one?
I just had the one.
Wait, hold on. Like, Gavv to, go ching
Is
on
it
it.
just gonna be a Hawk Tuah thing every time?
Oh,
I
please.
can't
Go
do it.
Chizo on that thing? Is that what you said? Welcome to the Untitled Toku podcast. My name is dumbjake. I'm joined by Reggie.
It would be like Gochiing on it.
Gochi on that thing.
It's Gochi on that thing.
Gochi on that Zo! Gochi on that Zo!
That's good. Keep that
in. We also have Aiden.
Hey.
And we are a weekly Toku podcast discussing all manner of new Toku news. Nah, that's a damn lie. I don't even know why I'm saying that. We talk about 3 shows on the show. We talk about Ultraman Omega, Kamen Rider Gavv, and the other one, No.1 Sentai Gozyuger. And we're gonna, I'm gonna break down each episode before the section begins. Spoilers, obviously, to be clear. It's gonna be spoilers for the episode and previous episodes. So if you don't want to get spoiled,
get out.
You can. There are chapters, so if you want to watch a specific discussion for a specific show, you just go to this description, and there are chapters there. All right. We talked about Kamen Rider Zett's announcement as a separate special episode. It should be out already. So if you want to see us talk about the Kamen Rider Zett's announcement, that's going to be in that episode, because it was a lot to talk about. We talked for like an hour about it.
A lot.
Or something. Yeah. But this episode is really cool because episode 1 of Ultraman Omega came out. And we're going to talk about it. Going to be my first start to finish Ultraman show. And it's just exciting. I think this might be the first show that's started while I've been into Toku, or that like I realized had started anyway. Like Gozyuger was maybe 2 episodes in when I started watching it, so I wasn't like a part of the hype train. But for Ultraman Omega and Kamen Rider Zets, I'm fully on board the hype train, which is fun. I see why people get into this every year, year over year.
It's like sports for people who don't go outside.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to do this for every show we're talking about today, but because this is, at least for 2 of us, our very first Ultraman show, I think it's worth just quickly reiterating, just very quickly, what we've seen Ultraman before, because This is kind of a new experience for all of us. I've only seen 1 Ultraman show before this. You and Reggie, I believe you've seen no Ultraman shows, just one of the movies, if I'm right.
Wrong. I've seen Ultraman Arc, 15 episodes, baby.
Oh,
still haven't finished it.
I forgot about that.
I will go back. I will finish it.
I've only ever seen Ultraman Rising, and if this video gets 10 likes, I will take the McDonald's French fry Minecraft movie helmet I have next to my Gigantron figurine and put it on its head and post it.
Whoa, 10 likes for that? That's pretty big. W engagement made. Yeah, if we get 10 likes, I'll post that picture on the community tab.
Oh yeah.
Of the channel. I've also seen Ultraman Rising, great movie. Watched it before I was into Toku, so didn't really appreciate it as Toku, but it kind of does Ultraman differently from other stuff. Like, he talks a lot when he's Ultraman, which I guess is the case sometimes, but
I think
the ones I've watched, they all go like when they're Ultraman.
Yeah, and from what I know, it's a case of they either grunt, like they have their own special grunt.
Special grunt.
They can speak, or it's a mix where they'll like grunt, but you also hear their inner voice monologue, and that is when they speak. That's as far as I know.
That's how I talk, actually.
One of those. Jake is a caveman, confirmed.
Yeah.
But yeah, me myself, I've only for me, I've seen a little more, but my Ultraman knowledge is still quite small. I've only seen Ultraman Rising, Shin Ultraman, and Ultraman G'd, which is the only series I've watched.
It's kind of funny. It does appear that, like, in terms of Western audience, Ultraman is the only show out of the 3 we're talking about right now that like streams simultaneously to America, and it seems like most Western Toku fans don't really engage with it, or a lot less than Kamen Rider and Super Sentai anyway.
Yeah, I feel like what it is that a lot of the time you can easily split the Tokusatsu fandom into people who are a fan of the stuff which is all about giants, like Ultraman and Godzilla, and Ghidorah and all that. Gamera, absolutely. And then you can also split, and then the other side is the people who like it where it's humans most of the time, where it's just
like
people
superheroes, like
in suits.
Yeah, superheroes.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to say it, like superhero Toku. And I do feel like, at least for the most part, when you say Tokusatsu, most people are going to think of that more underground superhero style more.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, that's not to put down Ultraman, you know, there's a lot of fans for good reason.
Yeah, I think there should be more, is my point. It doesn't make any sense
I love a good kaiju.
that a lot of Western fans don't watch it.
And we'll get into it, but I think that this episode is going to make me a bit more of a fan.
Ultraman is a superhero, but he's fucking big. That's epic. That's epic. God damn it. All right, let's get...
Who else does that? The Hulk also does that, but he's not even as big as Ultraman. Why are you still watching the MCU?
And he's powered by anger. That's messed up, man. We need more peace in this world.
He needs to be powered by, like, the hope and desire to protect, like, the planet Earth. Have you thought about that?
For real.
Although if we're
He's
talking
been
about
sent
Ultraman,
away from Earth.
if we're talking about Ultraman Omega, I feel like he's more likely powered by his lack of knowledge about.
He doesn't know anything.
Finally, inner peace to know nothing. All right, let's speaking of Ultraman Omega, I'm gonna play the recap here, and then we're gonna get back into the discussion. I'm going to recap the events of Ultraman Omega Episode 1, which is titled Here Comes an Alien. Ultraman Omega fights off a planet full of bug monsters and destroys the core of the planet with his spacium ray. But as he flies off, he's hit by a powerful beam and is sent hurtling through space, landing on Earth. We meet Kosei, a warehouse worker who runs into a strange man that acts like he's never seen anything before. While Kosei tries to understand what's going on, an earthquake strikes and a kaiju appears, destroying the city. Kosei and the man comfort a scared girl, and the mysterious man notices how kind Kosei is and decides he wants to do the same. As the kaiju wrecks the city, the man finally remembers he can do something about it. He summons the Omega Slugger and uses his meteor to transform into Ultraman Omega. Ultraman fights Grime, the burning kaiju, and struggles at first, but is ultimately able to defeat it. Ultraman powers down into human form after the battle, and tells Kosei that he remembers his name, which is Omega. Wow, great recap, me! Alright, Ultraman Omega, let's talk about it.
Wow,
Episode 1.
Recap, Jake.
That was so good.
Thanks.
I loved listening
I worked
to
so
it.
hard on it.
I love the moment when he Omega'd so hard. And
He Omega'd all over the place.
I love the part where you like gave Ultraman Omega
he
a
had that
really
Omega
high-pitched-
energy.
Yeah, he had that Omega energy, and when you were doing all his voice lines, you gave him like a really like high-pitched voice.
You just this is not even what happened in the I already did the recap. I can't go back and change it.
I really like how you like made him sound like SpongeBob.
Oh,
SpongeBob.
How did you both know?
Oh,
what the fuck?
Sorry, we're so
What
in
the hell?
sync. We are so in sync.
Wavelengths.
What the helly?
Wavelength. What the helly? What the
You-
heliante?
You guys are like Kosei and Omega from Ultraman Omega. It's crazy. Let's talk about what we like from the episode.
Everything.
Everything.
Can I just say first, amazing episode. Maybe one of the best first Toku episodes I've seen, which is big praise.
Really?
I thought it was great.
It didn't beat Gavv for me. Gavv was such a good first episode.
No.
Okay,
Okay,
I know.
If we are talking about like protagonist superhero guy who is kind of like an alien / like
Yeah.
creature thing from like another world who's then on Earth, like that's a trope like that happens so many times in media. But I think out of Gavv and Omega, I just think Ultraman Omega did it funnier. Like, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
I think Shoma's, like, YouTube thumbnail reactions to everything is hysterical. but it's just, like, I feel like it's very easy to fall into, like, these very overdone tropes of, like, oh, there's a guy, and he's from, like, an alien, he doesn't know anything about Earth, look at him try to use, like a toothbrush as, like a hair dryer or whatever, and it's funny.
My thing with Shoma, I also made the comparison in my head with these two because they are very similar setup wise. But the thing is, Shoma already knew about Earth. Like, he heard about it almost as like fables, right? Like, so he in his mind he's entering this place that's like
magical
dreamland. Yeah, he's like going to Disney Kingdom for the first time, and he's like 5 years old. This shit's lit. but Ultraman Omega is like an alien. He's like, what the fuck? What's going on?
Yeah.
Like,
also
he doesn't remember he's an alien.
If Shoma was a fish out of water, Omega is like an ant on the moon.
It's like a what?
An ant on the moon. It's just a completely different scenario.
Ant on the moon.
But my point is that there are a lot of tired, like, overdone things with that trope that you can do, but I feel like Ultraman Omega's writers do a really good job of just making it really funny without falling into, like, the overdoneness of any of this. It's just, like, hysterical.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really funny.
I love how the immediate first thing we go into is just how funny this guy is, because that is, like, I feel like such a good part of the episode is that this main character, Omega, I know he's going to get a human name at some point. I'm not sure.
Well, we just know him as Omega right now.
Exactly.
Lore-wise.
But he's from this first episode alone, he is so fun to watch. It's been great.
Pull up the tweet that says, "This is the face of a man who knows absolutely nothing." He's so good. And I like how tall he is compared to Kosei.
Like, huge.
Yeah.
He's some kind of Ultraman.
Whoa.
He can grow big.
Oh, really?
So let's talk about Ultraman Omega's design a little bit. He's so Ultraman's men have had red face before, like a red sort of faceplate.
I think it's happened once or twice.
But he's got one.
The one I know is Zayurf. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But that's the one I know from the past that had a red face. It's very much an uncommon design aesthetic, but it has been done once or twice.
Yeah, it makes him look aggressive to me. Like, he does look meaner than Kamen Rider. Jesus, God, I keep doing this. He does look meaner than Ultraman Arc.
Yeah.
I personally really like the... Because, like, I know with some Ultraman designs, they tend to go for more, like, of, like, a realistic-y looking mouth. Or just, like, in Toku, in, like, general. It's, like, having, like, the chrome, like, hyper-realistic lips on the mask. This one looks a lot more low poly, almost. Like, the whole design looks a little... There's just something about it that is... almost, like, low poly, like, more, like... angular but still like simple that I think
like a PS1 character.
He's like a PS1 like Pepsiman. It's all comes back together.
God damn it. Every single time.
But I just personally think like I just really like low poly like designs in media, so I think that's a win in my book.
Yeah, I didn't even notice the mouth thing until you noticed it, but yeah, it definitely isn't like a pronounced human mouth shape like it
which
sometimes
makes sense
is.
Because he's like an alien.
Yeah,
you know,
I kind of like it. It has a mouth shape, even though I like it that like it doesn't make any sense, but I do like that it looks like a mouth sometimes. I've never been a mouth hater. I know some people really hate like when Power Rangers have it. They really hate it.
I hate it, so...
That's the only Okay, yes. We got a hater in chat right now.
I'm
likes we kill Reggie.
Different to it myself. I think the lips...
What he likes will fight to the death.
To me, the visor is way more important than the lips. I can look aside them.
I also agree with that in the sense that, like, a lot of the time, it's like, I can ignore the mouth if, like, the visor / like... helmet details, like this crown or like the horns or like anything else that like creates like an interesting shape. If that's good, I can forgive like a mouth. But if it's just like a round, like stupid featureless head and like a hyper realistic mouth, I don't like it that
much. I feel like this is very specific. Like this is exactly what I heard when the first designs for Boon Boomja came out last year. Because people hated the tire heads, and then it also had the
right. Boon Boomja, Reggie, they have like just a tire for a face where a visor would be.
And then
I think you'll like the design.
Wait. I kind of really like this though. I don't know why you guys are hating.
It's kind of fun.
Okay, good. We got a Boon Boomja.
Maybe it's because like I just like the quote unquote like object head character design.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like Chainsaw Man or something.
Exactly. I'm like a fan of that design trip, so I'm not. It's just when it looks too human, I'm like.
That's the Super Sentai that came out before Gozyuger, Reggie. So this one
is it about cars?
Is the one right before the newest one. Yeah.
Why are there so many about cars?
I don't know. Everyone was telling me, watch Boon Boomja, it's got Transformers in it. It's like, okay, I'm not watching this just to watch Transformers.
I don't watch Transformers for the cars. I watch it for the robot drama.
They're like, it's a car that turns into a robot. You will obviously like it.
I mean, to be fair, the robot in Boon Boomja that becomes the mech is called Boondori or Boonderis.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's a play on Antonio Banderas, the actor.
Oh, I didn't even get that.
And there's a second one called Boon Diesel, which...
Okay, I get that one.
Vin Diesel.
What the hell?
Literally.
Okay, I might have to watch this one.
If this video gets 30 likes, we will watch Boon Boomja.
You can't just
30 likes
for
a 50 episode show. Oh no, God.
That's 50 episodes, bro.
Do not make that promise. Okay, I'm out on that one. Oh. Okay.
If someone
are we talking about?
If someone cash apps me $50, I will watch all of Boon Boomja.
Okay.
Unironically, I believe someone would do that. There's got to be a big enough fan.
I'll do it. I'll put it on paper now. If you cash out me $50, I'll watch all of it.
Check out Reggie's cash app link in the description below.
Put my cash app link on the screen.
What?
That is insane.
Can you make it a QR code, but it like leads to like the Little Caesars website?
That'd be cool.
We are off topic so bad.
Okay, right.
We were talking about lips and we just went crazy.
Yeah, okay, so back to Omega's suit. Okay.
Yeah, Omega's suit.
Here's a take. When it was first revealed, I just did not like it at all. Like
hater alert.
Like the red face is part of it, but what threw me off is that it looked so much like a luchador mask.
I love that.
I like that a lot.
That's fucking awesome.
I'll say this. Now I'm a fan. Like, after seeing it in motion, I love it. But when I first saw it, I was like, ooh, I don't... Like, I was very unsure.
We need more Tokusatsu luchador characters. This is a shout out
oh my god. You haven't watched...
Shout out El Brave from Dojengers. Everyone go watch Dojengers.
There's
in Gotchard, Kamen Rider Gotchard, there's a character called Wrestler G. He's one of like he's basically one of the Go Chizos of that season.
Hemis.
I like
they're like Pokemon.
Oh, this guy looks awesome. I like how he's like green.
And he's a special one because he can combine with a human and they become like a Wrestler G in real life. And him and Gotchard work together to beat up the monster of the week. It's really awesome.
I thought we were recapping Ultraman Omega, not
Oh yeah, we keep getting thrown off. Oh god.
Nacho Libre.
I haven't seen that movie. If you cash up me.
I haven't either.
Me neither.
What? If you cash out for Nacho Libre. That's like a movie that's free on YouTube regularly.
It's not. It's I'm willing to bet that. Anyways, I like his mohawk. I like Ultraman Omega's mohawk. I like that it's his weapon.
Yeah.
Detachable mohawk.
My first time seeing
slugger.
it, I was like, this is a little goofy. But it grew on me.
I'm not 100% sold on the mohawk weapon, to be honest. That's my one thing.
I love it. Many Ultraman in the past have had sluggers, they're called, and it's always the same. They can take it off and throw it.
Oh, so the thing on his head is the slugger?
Yeah, and it's also what his transformation item is.
Okay, yeah, I knew that was called the slugger. I didn't realize it was the same thing as the thing on his head.
It reminds me.
But that makes sense.
But there's plenty of Ultraman that has those fins.
It reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy Yondu's mechanical mohawk implant. So maybe that's just why I'm biased towards it, because I love Guardians of the Galaxy and I think Yondu is one of the best written characters in the history of the world.
Okay.
I will say
Michael Rooker too.
Reggie, the more I talk to you in these episodes, the more I think we are destined to be friends.
We already are.
That Kamen Rider ass statement.
Can I say?
I always knew we were destined to be friends.
Can I say? Just quick aside. I'm going to drag this conversation out even further. Guardians 2, best MCU movie.
Oh my god!
I have to debate you there, and just because Guardians 3 was my top one. Hey, Jake, what's your favorite Guardians of the Galaxy
I cannot
movie?
blame on that. 2 and 3 are nearly tied for me. So if you say 3 is your favorite, I cannot blame you.
I was in a bad mood when I watched Guardians 2, so I don't really like it that much.
Oh, that's fair.
So I like Guardians 3 the best out of all. I really like the story with the High Evolutionary, because that was a villain in Spider-Man Unlimited. He was the main villain of that show.
He's also a villain
that's
in
cool.
the 2015 Guardians of the Galaxy Disney XD cartoon, but they changed him a lot.
Ain't nobody watch it.
I watched that.
Just shut down immediately.
Dude, we could talk about the symbiote wars all day, bro. I watched
symbiote.
There's
symbiote here.
There's an episode where they go to the symbiote planet and they all become half symbiote. Clintar, yeah. And they're all symbiotes, and it's awesome. And that's the kind of stuff you get if you watch the 2015 Guardians of the Galaxy Disney XD cartoon.
Coming from the only person that's ever seen it before.
They got Bulkhead from Transformers Prime to voice Groot. I don't know what you want from me.
This has to be a record for most times gone off script consecutively from one
fucking episode where we're talking about stuff. Ultraman Omega, I like his eyes. I like his damn eyes. I like how they look. I want to touch them.
They're very sparkling.
Touch his eyes.
You want to gaze deeply into his eyes?
They look like one of those nice rocks that people have, that the soothing rocks or whatever.
A crystal?
Yeah, crystal. Yeah, crystal. It looks like a crystal. And I want to touch it. I want to feel his eyes.
It would feel. I think it would feel like TV static if you stuck your hand in there.
And I also love his he has an armor piece around his chest, basically.
Yeah.
And it extends down on his back in this spine, and I think the spine looks so cool.
Oh yeah, I love a external spine implant thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the slugger continuing as a fin down his back. Oh, so good.
Yeah. And we could talk about the kaiju of the episode, Grime.
Wait, hold on. Before
burning kaiju.
The kaiju is very cool, but before, speaking of going down his back, there's a shot.
It's crazy. You sent it. Pause.
Do we want to talk about it now? Okay, I thought we were going to get into it when we talk about it.
Are we saving it?
Giant caked up ass.
It's like dump truck. Yeah. Was that intentional, you think? Because sometimes
absolutely.
What do you mean by that?
Because sometimes it's just
they used a fisheye lens on that. That is
no. But it's when they were scoping out, because with those kinds of suits, it's just going to take the shape most of the time of whoever the actor is, like the stunt actor is inside playing the character.
Yeah.
So it's like, were they looking for that, or was it just like, oh, it's just like we happen to find this guy that does really good stunt work, but he also, you know, putting it politely, since this is a real world human being, he's just very circular.
How like you know how drag queens have like
the
stuff
foam
to wear to like give them
they put that
like
in the
big
Ultraman
asses.
Omega suit.
I remember I saw that shot, and the first thing that came into my head was that the one clip of Reggie Fils-Aimé on the news saying Link is hot, and it's just that was me in my head. Omega is hot.
Hold on, is there a shot of like Omega by himself, like not in costume, where I can like compare and contrast?
His ass.
Yeah.
He is naked in like the first 5 minutes
it's like,
of the show.
It's like,
Oh
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
Adam
First
they didn't show the cheeks though. So
yeah. Wait, hold on. Oh, it's like average. Okay.
We need our top scientists on this.
Where's the J. Jonah Jameson voice? Bring me pictures of Ultraman Omega's butt.
it's like, yeah, I listened to the Untitled Toku podcast. Don't listen to it though. they don't talk about Ultraman Omega, and then they talk about his ass for 10 minutes. Look, he's caked up. It's in full view. It looks like an Ice Spice music video. It's
and
crazy.
He's stupid.
And he's stupid. Ultraman Omega is so stupid and hot. It's awesome.
In conclusion, 10 out of 10 episodes.
True.
We stop recording that. Okay, I think that's enough said.
What you the kaiju, man. You said kaiju's cool. Anyway, Ultraman's ass.
I wanted to get that out of the way before we talked about the kaiju.
The kaiju's Gerheim, who's called the burning kaiju for some reason. I don't know what about him makes him burning. Bro literally burned nothing.
He's kind of the opposite. He just like goes underground and like, you know.
Yeah, he's like a mole.
I really like his nose. It's like the star mole, like star-nosed mole kind of look, but it's more like I just really like it when like kaiju designs or like bad guy designs in Toku take influence from like real world animals, and you can see that. That's why like King Oger is like one of my favorites, just because there's so much like real world influence in the Bugnarok, and it's fantastic and I love it. He looks like a weird like armadillo mole anteater thing.
I love,
and I really
like,
he's very anteater. His claws. Oh, his claws are gnarly. They're like a sloth's claws.
Yeah, that's it. It's like a sloth. I could not figure it. I was thinking mole, but I don't think moles have claws.
They have really big ones, but they're not like curved. The sloth ones are like really curved because they're freaks of nature.
Oh my! Also, just talking about this, I realized that we did not even talk about the intro cinematic CGI.
That's
part where
I thought we
Ultraman's
were
flying around.
Yeah, I thought we were going to talk about the episodes kind of.
Sorry, we're talking about Ultraman's ass. Well, I do the recap. I told you we don't gotta talk about it.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, quickly while
CGI
on the kaiju though, like I was telling Reggie and Jake about it a bit, but I saw this. I fell in love with this design immediately.
Yeah,
like I like it's like the first shot you see is like of its eyes, and the eyes look so cool. It's like I'm not sure how.
Yeah, they're weird.
It's like
they're like purple.
It's like a shattered piece of glass where the gap in between the panes is the black part of the pupil. It's so and then it zooms out. You see the rest of the design, and it's just. Oh, it's such a peak design. Maybe that's me subconsciously seeing the drills and just thinking back to Gurren Lagann, which is my favorite anime, and just being like, cool drills, I love this guy.
That's based.
I don't know if you saw it, Aiden, but they're making a toy of Grime.
I did see
Ultra Monster Advance line.
I saw that.
Actually looks pretty cool.
I am quite tempted to get it. Although I feel like this design's so cool, I want it to get that SH figure art or SH monster art. It deserves it.
The only nitpick I have about the kaiju design is that, and it's like I get why they have to do it. It's like a guy in a suit and he's gonna be like standing up, but I just wish there was like, because it's like it would be cool if it was just like running around like on all fours, but at the same time with like the hands, I could see why they wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, I do.
Part of the charm for me is like they can't do that. Like they gotta do something. They gotta have the guy just stand up.
They have a
like I always think of Anguirus from Godzilla, the original costume, because it's just a dude on all fours walking around. It's so obvious.
But that like oh god. Yeah, but it would be like awesome though. I don't know, it's 2025. Make it so like it looks convincing. We have the technology for that. As long as it's not AI though.
Can't get convincing kaiju. All we got is Ultraman ass. If that's what
I'm happy with that.
I'll show you the door.
Wait, like you want us to leave for the kaiju or the Ultraman's ass?
I don't know. I didn't put it together well. It fell apart. I was hoping we would just move on from it, quite honestly.
Okay.
Do we want to talk about that opening sequence?
Yes.
Because I don't have too much to say about it, because when I was watching it, I just like my jaw was just dropped, because these Toku shows, like I said this in our special Zets episode, they're kind of considered like low to medium budget shows, like, but you click on Omega episode 1, it zooms out into this, like, is it a planet? It's like half a planet, it looks like. It's
like a destroyed planet almost.
Like a destroyed Death Star.
I have theories. Like. We can talk about theories.
We can talk about it in a second. And then Omega lands, and it looks like something from a movie, which apparently the Godzilla -1 team worked on this, which...
one of our members...
my mind. But
one of the Discord members said that. I'm not sure. I don't got a source on that.
I've seen that on Twitter.
I believe
it. And I would not be shocked, because it's pretty much like two completely uninterrupted minutes of just pure, really well done CG work.
Yeah, the lighting I think is what makes it really good. Like it looks so like the models look really good. You can tell they're CG. You look close enough, it's not like impossible to tell. But the lighting is like dark and it's all purpley and stuff, and it just makes it look so good.
Not to be the guy that makes everything about Transformers, but I really like how it looks like the War for Cybertron.
It does look a lot like War for Cybertron.
And I love that. It's great. And like, you know, Transformers Prime, so like the aligned continuity basically, and I love that. Go watch Transformers Prime. But I think I also, when we were watching it for the first time, it reminded me a lot of that like scene from Wreck-It Ralph, where it's like he's in the gritty shooter game.
And you're so right. Yeah.
And it's like all like the insect eggs, and it's like they're hatching, and there's like a hive, and he's being chased. Just like replace Ultraman Omega with like Wreck-It Ralph from games.
From games. You did point that out. I totally agree. It does remind me of that.
Yeah.
But I love the bug, like the bug monsters are honestly actually not that interesting to me. I think they're kind of plain looking.
Like, I don't think they have to be super cool looking.
Though my only thing is, part of my theory, I feel like they might be, you know, an overarching threat or something. Like maybe this planet was Ultraman's planet, or a planet he was protecting, and these bug monsters showed up. They're kind of like kaiju. They're huge, obviously, because compared to him, they're like jumping all over him. And the one that he was fighting on the planet was bigger than him, much bigger than him.
Yeah.
So imagine that on Earth. It'd be huge. But also he destroys the core of the planet.
Yeah.
And it, like, explodes. So it's also unclear if it's like a natural planet or like a spaceship planet or something.
We see like man-made infrastructure. So like clearly,
do we?
I mean, like I can't tell.
Oh,
it looks man-made.
Yeah,
you pulling up with an architecture like degree.
There's like machines and like
this appears to be
metal.
Gregorian.
Yeah. I mean, to clear up some of your thoughts, Jake. So it won't be Ultraman's planet. So bit of Ultraman background lore here. All Ultramen are part of a species, and they all come from this planet called the Land of Light. So yeah,
sounds more like a land than a planet, but
of Nebula M78. So canonically, all Ultramen come from this planet.
Is it like that though? Is that how it works? Because in Arc, it sounds like he's from a different like galaxy or something. They don't say Land of Light in Ultraman Arc.
Well, I mean, they'll usually refer to it as they'll either say they came from the Land of Light or they came from Nebula M78.
Okay,
but
maybe they called it that.
But to be fair, most Ultraman shows like it's like a Kamen Rider situation. Like when they want to cross over, they'll have a reason to do so. But for the most part, each series is individual. So
yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Like I'm not assuming anything about the show.
Yeah.
Until it tells me.
Yeah, I will say
so that's why. Yeah, but I agree. You're probably right.
Yeah, the
knowing how these shows work.
Yeah. Also, the little bugs, I thought they were so awesome looking. I am not sure if how much they're going to come back. Because I feel like they're very much like... They were taking advantage of the fact that they had access to this amazing CG to make suits that they couldn't have people in.
Right.
Because they were all just like little
monsters that
around.
Don't require suits.
Exactly.
I hate to say it, the bugs also really look like the bugs from Wreck-It Ralph. I was looking at it more. I was
How
like,
recently have you seen Wreck-It Ralph to remember this? I haven't seen Wreck-It Ralph in
I feel like
7
the
years.
bug designs are pretty iconic. Are they not?
Iconic from Wreck-It Ralph?
Wreck-It Ralph is an iconic film. Hold on, I'm trying to pull up the comparison image.
I think Wreck-It Ralph is iconic, not the bugs from
the bugs are like a major plot point, though.
I remember the woman who was shooting the bugs, but not even her.
They both have like the praying mantis pincers. They both have like the glowing eyes. They both have like the round bodies. They're just like different colors.
Okay. I see. I kind of see it.
Those are totally different.
Okay.
I don't see it.
I couldn't get a good screenshot of the bugs.
No, it's not like Wreck-It Ralph. Not at all. Not my special show.
Oh, where are the eggs? I need to send a picture of the eggs.
I need to send a picture of the eggs. Yeah, I posted this on Twitter. It's basically just a picture that's from like the first 2 seconds of the episode, and you see an Ultraman type character flying at the camera. It sort of zooms out, and I don't know. I think it just does not look like Ultraman Omega. There's no red at all. It almost looks blue. Many people told me in the comments, "Oh, it's just Ultraman Omega with different colors," or no, just Ultraman Omega in different lighting. And like maybe,
that's not red,
but I looked at the picture so long. It's not red, man. It's silver. Like I only see silver and blue, and like whatever lighting it is, I don't think you can just like.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that clip now. I'm trying to find that clip now to give it a watch. Is it like near the end of that segment?
It's literally the first 5 seconds of the the segment.
Hold on.
It's like a blink and you miss it. Like that doesn't look red to me, especially on the face where his face is literally red.
I mean, to be fair, his chest is mostly silver and blue.
His chest, but his face is red. It doesn't look red. It looks silver. It probably is him. I don't know what sense it would make to show some
animation error,
other Ultraman.
Animation error, my TV show.
Yeah, I'm probably just over analyzing the hell out of it, but I thought it was interesting.
Yeah.
My theory, if it is another Ultraman, it's like one of his pals or something that he was protecting the planet with, or again, maybe this planet is Ultraman planet in the series and it's getting attacked, and maybe it's like an escaping Ultraman. But that's my crackpot theory for the episode. I'm probably wrong. It's probably just Ultraman Omega, but whatever, man.
Whatever.
Kosei, briefly talk about Kosei. He's the human of the series. He's Omega's companion, the foil to Omega's fish out of water element. He's a totally normal dude.
He's kind of a loser.
That's completely baffled. Loser? What do you mean?
He was there so protective of his third place medal from high school.
Something I think is really interesting, actually. I'm assuming this takes place in like relatively modern day, just because of like we see like the cell phone, but it's like his like house / like storage garage / like whatever it is very retro.
He's working in a warehouse. It's his job, I guess. But is the implication that he lives at ? Maybe.
Either way, it's just like the whole like setting there is like very retro. Yeah. With like the radio and like the lights. I do think that is
more just like
whether if he lives there or if it's like just his job. But I don't know.
It gave me like early 2000s vibes. I was
like early 2000s, late 90s, just like something like that.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
I think the interior design for that area I just really liked it though. I just think the like stacks of boxes make for like like interesting. That's the thing with like the one thing about Ultraman is that like as much as I love kaiju fights, it's really hard to do anything interesting with the fight settings as it is with shows like Kamen Rider or Super Sentai. Because in like Kamen Rider Gavv, episode 1, you have them doing this like fight in like a cargo bay, and they're like literally like holding themselves up between the elevated cargo boxes to like hit each other.
And throwing them.
Change how my brain worked when I saw that scene. Change my brain chemistry.
But it's just like Ultraman can't fit in there. He's too big.
Ultraman can't fit in there. Just pointing at different objects. Pointing at the local supermarket.
Can't fit in my house.
Could not fit in there.
Can't fit in my house. Can't fit in the library. Where's
Clifford the Big Red Dog, but it's Ultraman Omega.
Dude.
Is that anything?
Has there been an Ultra Dog yet?
Yeah, it seems like something that could have. I know there's Ultra Mom and Ultra Dad.
Oh yeah, father of Ultra and mother of Ultra.
Where is Ultra estranged uncle?
Okay, we talked about Kosei. Yeah, I think we covered most of it. I mean, the fight was awesome. I love how he slashed the horn off of the kaiju and then slashed in half. He usually I feel like they're not usually as brutal when they kill them, at least in the ones
to be fair, I don't think it was so brutal. Like, there was no, like, blood or anything.
No, it's just, like, more brutal than Ultraman Arc to me.
Like, if you've seen the old Ultraman gifs.
it really...
Yeah, we were watching some fucked up Ultraman gifs.
It really says a lot about Omega's character, that he just, like, doesn't know anything, and he's, like, kind of, like, stupid. And then it's, like, when he sees, like, this kaiju and he transforms, he just goes into this, like, violent rage and just like completely decimates it. That's kind of scary.
I didn't really get rage from him though. That's
scary. It's like emotionless.
yeah. I'd say emotion. I feel like that'll be part of his arc though. Like
the shot,
gaining human.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the shot of like the monster's eye closing. I don't know. It was just a little. Yeah. I
thought that was cool.
I love how they humanized it by giving it a name and then kind of, showing it's dying. That, like, it really makes you feel for him, which I've heard is a thing in Ultraman where they really make you feel for the kaiju sometimes.
Ultraman, was it Ultraman? It was like, it started with a. I'm trying to remember. There was like one series where it's like the whole point. Cosmos, Ultraman Cosmos, where it's like
I mentioned this when we watched it.
Yeah. The focus is that it's like they're trying to like humanize the kaiju, save the kaiju, etc.
Yeah, I think it was where Ultraman Cosmos was like, it was less about beating the kaiju, but more like saving them or just stopping them from being a threat, but not necessarily by killing them all the time. That's what I've heard.
Yeah, that's part of Ultraman arc a little bit. I mean, I think he kills the kaiju a bunch still, but they did some really cool episodes where like one of the kaiju creates like an explosion when they have a baby. So they basically pass on their life force to their baby.
Oh.
So Ultraman arc protects the kaiju and the city by like withholding the blast in the force field. And it like is like a really interesting episode because like Ultraman arc is really kind to the kaiju because it's just a mother passing on its life to have its baby.
That makes me really curious as to if they're gonna like, because I feel like if we're like talking about Ultraman on a scale from like no sympathy to the kaiju to like the opposite of that, I'm really curious as if they're gonna take anything from Ultraman Rising. Just because that whole story was centered around, like, humanizing the kaiju. It's, like, helping them. It's, like, they're not the real bad guy. Yeah. Ultraman Rising spoilers, I guess. I don't know why you're here if you haven't watched it. But, you know, and it's, like... I know it was, like... I'm pretty sure that, like, Ultraman Rising as a whole is pretty separate from the rest of the franchise, but I'm still curious if that is going to influence this show in any way. Because, like, honestly, I would be here for that.
Yeah. I do think that thing about humanizing the kaiju in Rising was, you know, taken from how Ultraman as a franchise does treat its kaiju a lot of the time.
Yeah, like how the previous shows treated kaiju influenced the movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a kid. I would not be surprised if there's a deeper element to the kaiju here. Deeper story element as to what's going on.
Maybe as he becomes more like human, the treatment of the kaiju changes. I think that would be an interesting way to spin the story.
I mean, we do know from, you know, the toys and what we've seen in promotional material that his like upgrade, I'm not sure if that's right. The upgrade forms we use in the future are based on kaiju. So
yeah, they're like kaiju that turn into weapons for him.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
So
I can't wait to see that.
So I'm curious if that's a case of maybe some of the kaiju, like, I wonder if it's some of the kaiju, instead of defeating them, he's able to ally with them, and then they become meteors that he can put into his slugger and get the armor.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe they're like the Digimon with the dark gears or whatever. Like something is making them evil. That's why that one had like purple eyes.
Oh, that's true.
Maybe.
Yeah, because from what I'm saying, the figure, I know that the blue one, which I assume is the first time he gets, does have like way more human-looking eyes. So
yeah, the blue one looks awesome. It's like a blue dinosaur-looking kaiju. Yeah, it looks so cool.
I was saying it looks like it was straight out of some old print block art.
Oh, with the like block. The blue sword, right?
Yeah, he turns into a little blue sword.
I like the horn change.
It's funny they show off the forms in the toy commercial.
Yeah, I mean that's
like you can kind of see them. Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's best we speak about that more when it does come into the show, which I'm not sure it's going to be next episode based on the preview. Probably episode 3 or 4.
Yeah, we should wrap up the section. We've been talking for 40 minutes about it.
Oh boy.
We all liked the episode. And yeah, that's it for Ultraman Omega this episode. Now you're going to hear a recap of No.1 Sentai Gozyuger episode 20. Hey there, dumbjake popping in here. Just to let you know, if you want to support our podcast further, for just $1 a month, you can become a member over on patreon.com/dumbjake. That'll give you access to our Patreon-only Discord server, where we watch all the Tokusatsu shows we talk about on this podcast and more every Sunday. So if you want to join us for a weekly Discord hangout, please check out the Patreon, patreon.com/dumbjake. Back to the podcast. I'm going to recap the events of No.1 Sentai Gozyuger episode 20, which is is titled One Serious Gyaru. Oto's got a brand new style. Sumino is thinking about her lost sister Oto when she's attacked by the No.1 Gyaru, a monster representing a gaudy Japanese fashion style. The monster uses her Gyaru beam to dress the team in Gyaru-style outfits. Out of nowhere, Sumino's sister shows up, calling herself Otopun and becoming Shenkinred. Oto destroys a group of AIs very easily, and the No.1 retreats. While the boys discover they're still Gyarufied even out of costume, Sumino confronts Oto, who doesn't remember her at all, and rebuffs any claim that she has a sister. Oto finds the squad's Gyaru to be pitiful, so she and her fellow Gyarus agree to train the team. Meanwhile, Tega Jun grills Fire Candle for being incompetent, and Fire Candle realizes he needs more power. Oto trains the team in Gyaru history, slang, and styling, though Sumino is distant the whole time. And she finally breaks down, believing the Oto she knows is not there. Afterwards, Oto almost drops her ring, and reveals that if she isn't wearing it, she falls into a coma. Sumino hears this, as well as a phrase Oto would say when she was younger, making her realize that this Oto is her Oto. The Gozyugers, now fully fitted out, confront Gyaru No.1 once again. The monster challenges them to a texting competition, and defeats them while summoning her boyfriend, one of the general AIs, Surf Mega. Gozyupolar randomly shows up, and it turns out he's not good at Gyaru, so Tono and Kumade form Tega Sword Whiteburn with their mechas, and are able to take down Surf Mega with some brutal close combat. Sumino shows up fully Gyaruified in an effort to connect with Oto and become friends again. The two finally find common ground and are able to defeat the Gyaru No.1, with both of them becoming #1 Gyaru. The reunion is cut short when Fire Candle shows up, and not only steals Oto's ring, but her entire silver Tega sword, using it to transform into Shenkinred. Wow, another excellent recap by me. #1 Sentai Gozyuger was pretty good this week. I liked it.
I like how you did your best Duke Nukem impression for I don't even know what I'm saying.
Okay, are we doing this again? We're doing the fake thing again?
Yeah, I think this is going to become a regular bit at this bit.
Hoaru. I don't know. I don't know if I can do Duke Nukem. This episode of Gozyuger was a bit weird. We got a bit culture shocked here with some new information I did not know about
you
Japan.
Did,
regarding the fashion style called Gyaru, which I did some Wikipedia-ing. That is apparently Gyaru comes from gal. The word gal.
It's one of those loan words, so it's just kind of Japanese people kind of phonetically trying to say the word gal. So gal, gyaru. You know, it's when you spell it in English, like you romanize the Japanese word into English, it looks different, but it's essentially the same word. It's gal.
It's RL then, because Japanese you have like a mix of R and L, right? Like
a lot of Asian languages, like the L, like L is like sometimes it's easy, but most of the time L is kind of replaced with R, or like L is really hard to pronounce. My mom, whose first language is Korean, can't pronounce any words with L in it. God bless her heart, to save her life.
That sucks. Yeah. So it's kind of that the L part of gal, I didn't even think about it because I was wondering, like, Gyaru sounds so different from gal.
Yeah, I mean, if you want for this episode, if it's easier for you to say, we could just say gal, because essentially it means the same thing.
No, I already recorded the recap thing where I said Gyaru like 50 times in a row. So
Gyaru.
All right.
Okay.
Also, I just believe in saying the word they say. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think it's right to translate it.
All right. Works fine me.
I really liked the part where they all transformed in their ranger modes, or their costume modes. Also had the I really like how Gozyuwolf had the side ponytail. I think he was kind of slaying.
Yeah.
The full Gyaru Gozyuwolf at the end was crazy. I did not even recognize him.
I know, it took me a sec too. And then he does the thing and he says, "You're my prey, sweetie."
Yeah.
Does Gozyupolar get a costume mode, or did I misremember?
No, he just
That's
does
so
his
sad.
clappy leg lift.
That's so sad. They should have.
Yeah, he just shows. I love when he shows up though. He says, "It seems like you're in your struggle era."
Yes.
Gozyupolar was made to like slay. I don't know. I feel like missed opportunity.
Yeah, he did not seem that good at Gyaru. He was not set out to be Gyaru #1 this episode. That was, in fact, Sumino's long-lost sister, Oto. I guess this is where most of the conversation is going to come from, because throughout the season, we've known Sumino's sister is missing. Sumino believes she was kidnapped by a man with gray eyes.
Who was heavily hinted to be Rikuo.
Yeah, because Rikuo had gray eyes at a certain point in his idol career.
Yeah,
and then I guess he changed it.
I think it was explained that he started wearing contacts, or that his eye color just changed. I assume
what? I didn't think I just assumed that he wore gray contacts when he was an idol.
No, so I think what it was, I think it was his eyes are gray and he wears blue contacts.
That's crazy.
The comments can correct me if I'm wrong on that.
Are gray eyes real?
I've never heard of it. I think blue
I'm sure
eyes
there's
are.
people with gray eyes. But probably not like pure gray, but
it's like bluish gray.
Pure gray.
But we do know from like the preview of the next episode that it won't be Rikuo who's the grey-eyed man, because at the very end of the preview we saw a hooded guy with a grey eye. So
it'd be pretty crazy if they made one of the main superheroes a child abductor.
Yeah,
that'd be a crazy move.
Although they absolutely want us to think that Rikuo's involved, because Sumino explains to him because there's a scene where he's trying to cheer Sumino up because her sister doesn't recognize her, and then she's like, yeah, a grey-eyed man took her. That was the last eyewitness account, and he's looking in shock. Like, they want you to think, oh, he knows something. He's got something to do with it. But that's unlikely to be the case.
You could... Maybe he was a part of a group before that all had gray eyes.
I wouldn't say he's looking in shock. Yeah. It's more just like a dramatic pan, but I don't know if the expression conveys like... Are we talking about the shot at the end?
No.
Oh, we're talking about a different shot?
It's like when she's telling him in the middle of the episode. She tells him, like, oh yeah, I never mentioned it, but the guy had gray eyes.
Yeah.
He has like a certain expression that's like, what?
Oh yeah, he's like, oh my god. Yeah, I'm looking
because
at it.
In the episode where that piece of law was originally brought up, Rikuo wasn't with them. So and then it cut to Fan speaking to him, and he's like, "Wow, you have a photo from back in the day when I had my grey eyes."
Yeah, his gray eye era. He's like Taylor Swift, I guess. He's got eras to his idol. I can't tell. Is he famous? I guess he is, right? Like
he is
quite literally famous.
Disgraced idol. So
okay,
I assume he was in an idol group, and now he's still famous, but he's just not being hired because he did something that we don't know, which made him get fired.
Maybe it's a guy that kidnapped Oto that got him fired. Who knows? But it seems like they're tied together some way, somehow. I don't think they do the red herring for no reason. I think he's tied to it in some way.
Yeah, it might be a case where it's like, oh, Rikuo was involved, but Rikuo was trying to save her from someone. So they did see Rikuo, but then it turns out the one who did kidnap her, that Rikuo was trying to save her from, also just happened to have grey eyes.
Yeah, I'm telling you, gray eye idol group. All the boys have
that's kind of scary. I don't know if that's a gimmick I would subscribe to.
Well, you see why they failed. You see why he's disgraced now. But speaking of wishes, since Rikuo wishes to be an idol again or whatever, Sumino's wish has been to find her sister.
Yeah.
Or find the person that got her sister. I think it's find her sister, though.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden her sister shows up out of nowhere, basically, with a hype squad, basically. And she becomes Shenkinred, Universe Warrior, to fight the Gyaru #1.
Hype?
Which,
group is a crazy way to
Which-
just say friends. Those are just our friends.
Well, they didn't say a damn word. I don't know. I think friends have personality. I think a hype group just sits there and
hype group
does little
doesn't have
poses with you.
you know what? Fair enough. I'll
Yeah, it
subscribe
was
to that.
great to see that they made a woman Shenkinred, because it means they were able to break out the female Shenkinred suit, which they've had since Shinkenja, because there was an arc in Shinkenja where Shenkinred was temporarily replaced by a female counterpart, which was at the time like unheard of. So it's really cool they got a chance to use that suit again. Like, that's something. I
mean,
thought,
it's part of the show is like not so they're like subtly referencing the other shows. Like this happened with the Beast Tamer guy, the Gao Ranger guy, where the whole story arc with that No.1 was it like just harken back to another show.
Yeah,
I'm butchering it, but you know what I'm talking about. Like that monster was from a different show, and then the story in it like had echoes of the other show. It wasn't exactly the same.
And even the song
echoes.
he was playing on his ocarina and that his wife would sing were taken from Gao Ranger 2.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So it's following suit. It seems like with these special universe warriors that they give highlights to.
You could even
sort
say
of follows
that,
a similar idea.
Yeah. You could even say that having Shenkinred go to a Gyaru is very purposely the complete opposite, because the Shinkenjas and Shenkinred especially was like a very serious, stoic character. So they've taken this very serious and stoic character instead of giving it to this young, hip, very informal female character. So
honestly,
it's like
I love that.
Yeah.
although we know that some people on Twitter didn't when it comes to one part of her being
I haven't. Now, I personally haven't seen this on Twitter, but I've heard people are mad about the symbol she draws for red or for fire, because it's more like a trendy, I don't know, slang symbol for the word instead of the traditional one from the original show.
Would it be like using if we were to translate that to English, would it be like using like the fire like 100 etc. emoji instead of like writing it in like calligraphy or something? That's really funny.
Yeah. I think the reason why you haven't seen much of it yourself is because, from what I've heard, this is all Japanese fans that got a bit angry. Like us here, we can't tell the difference.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Japanese. and the Japanese fans, they adore Shenkinred. Like the polls that happened a few months ago, Shenkinred was topped, like at the top as the number one favorite ranger of
He's
all
like the most
time
recognizable,
I
would feel.
For the Japanese audience, almost definitely.
I feel like for the Western audience too, because just like I don't
know for the Western audience, you just think of Mighty Morphin, so Ranger.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, that Shenkinred, he was in a Power Rangers, right? Like I recognize it.
Yeah. Power Rangers Samurai.
Right. So Power Rangers fans know this guy. General audiences, I'd say, probably don't know this. Like, I think you actually have to be a fan of Power Rangers for one of those later seasons.
I mean, I won't say that so much, because I think Samurai was like one of the more popular points of like later half of Power Rangers. So I'd say there's a few people who know them. There was also just the Gyaru stuff in general. So we got Otto's Gyaru Gang, we got Gyaru No.1. And like
the gang gets Gyaru'd. Like everyone except Gozyupolar got Gyaru'd.
Which I think is
essentially got a whole history lesson too. We got a whole history lesson.
Yeah.
I mean, for you, Jake, like you said, it was a bit of a culture shock. Like, I think me and Reggie probably knew about Gyaru culture a little bit.
I feel like Gyaru
I've heard
has
of it
been
from
making
like
a big comeback. It's making a big comeback right now on, especially like Western social media. Like I feel like in that, like, because like a lot of like fashion right now is sort of like that retro, like Y2K-esque look, and I feel like like a subculture of that, or at least like a subculture of like fashion as a whole,
Pink
like
Pantheress style.
Yeah. Like I feel like Gyaru has been like slowly, steadily becoming more of like a thing again. This time in the West.
Yeah.
I they call it Gaijin Gyaru on Wikipedia.
I also really want to ask, out of the 4 Rangers, who did we, or out of 5, I guess, if we're counting Sumino at the end, who did we think was the prettiest?
I love Sumino's fit.
In Ranger
form?
In
well,
Ranger.
her
Ranger
Gyaru
form,
disappears in Ranger form.
Which is why I was like debating on including her. So I guess we can include the human forms, but I'm more curious about who is the prettiest in Ranger form.
Yeah.
I'll take a screenshot of the lineup.
Fun. Oh yeah, take a screenshot.
I need a screenshot. I did not memorize any of their. I'm thinking more about their Gyaru human forms.
But they only
which again. I remember when Tono's glow up.
When Gyaru number 1 first shoots them with the Gyaruization beam, and it hits gozyuleon and gozyueagle. Like, I love how when he untransforms, you can see Rikuo just kind of checking himself out and keeping giving a little smirk.
He would. He would.
Yeah. So out of the lineup, I'll say this.
Ryugi was the ugliest. I feel like that's the easiest to say.
Ryugi, like when I first saw the thing, I thought that was meant to be like a dude. It reminds me of like the 80s fashion
so
of
uninspired.
It reminds me of like the 80s fashion of men who'd grow their hair to like the shoulder lengths and wear these big baggy white shirts.
Oh my god, it's like you're right. Oh my god,
like the Bee Gees. I see him as a Bee Gees.
I think that looks like that Ranger form. I think his like human form of that costume is just like boring because he's prim and proper. It's like such a Ryugi outfit.
It doesn't match his character exactly.
It's not very Gyaru, to be honest. I mean, at least from my perception, limited perception of it, doesn't feel very Gyaru. I think Gozyuleon Rikuo is definitely the winner for me with the leopard
I was
print.
going to say that, absolutely, because his is definitely the most put together.
Yeah, all the others, like Houro looks like he's wearing shorts right now, question mark? Like, I don't know what happened to his costume.
When they are untransformed, however, we kind of hit it. Actually, that came out. That sounds like I want to do something. No, God, no.
Dude.
He's kind of slaying. But Rico is too. Gozyueagle, he's always trying his best. I think that's the best way I can describe it. Even when he gets Gyaruified, it's like you can't save much.
It's like it's schoolgirl. It's not really Gyaru.
Yeah. Which is like so funny for him, being an 80-year-old man.
I think Ryugi looks better because like they have the same outfits. It just transfers when they.
Yeah.
I think he looks a lot better in like human, like not human, like non-ranger, but it's just like I don't know. It's something about it is giving like Karen.
Yeah, it's the least crazy out of all the outfits.
Yeah,
for sure.
It is a tie. It is a really hard tie, but I think Horu has to take it for me just because the side ponytail is so iconic.
The buns.
The buns and then the side ponytail, both. It's like, oh my god. I just think it's a crime that, you know what, maybe if I have the time, I'll design a Gyaru look for a gozyupolar. Just because I feel like it's such a wasted potential.
That would be banger fan art for Twitter.
It needs to
Twitter
be
would eat that shit up.
I feel like you need to take about give him like a little bear hat or like an extra set of bear ears, like that bear headband.
Like Sumina's like unicorn hat when she comes in at the end, and it has ear. Oh my god.
Oh my god! I didn't even connect that her little hat she's wearing is a unicorn hat, and she turns into Gozyunicorn. I didn't even think about that. That's fucking funny. I love that hat she's wearing. The little ears flap. That's so fucking 2012 Hot Topic coded. So awesome. We should talk about like the Oto storyline a little bit more because we learn a lot. We learned that Oto will go into a coma when her ring is gone. So she must have received her ring when she was in the coma.
Yeah.
From Tega's sword.
Yeah, but also we also know that she just has amnesia. So Sumino's really going through it this episode because she's finally found her sister after all these years, and she's like, I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And then she just like collapses.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the thing about her having amnesia, I think it's because she's like still in a coma. Like she's in a coma, but she's awake. So like her memories are not completely open to her, but her personality is still there.
I almost feel like
she says the same things, right? Like she says the same turn of phrase, and she's not referencing back to something in her memory. That's just like something she would say.
Yeah.
So I think she's like, I think her wish is probably to wake up from the coma. That's probably her Tega sword wish.
Oh yeah.
And I am assuming that after this episode, Sumino is going to change her wish to I want my sister to wake up from her coma or whatever.
Yeah.
Because she found her sister. That wish is, fulfilled essentially, unless like she gets taken again or something. They explain it that way, but let's talk some more thoughts on Oto, because obviously there is something else to talk about at the end of the episode.
Yeah. Oh, yes, absolutely. My favorite part. Like, sorry for Oto, but my boy.
Sorry, Oto. Fire Candle.
Fire Candle, the goat of the show. I'm so happy for him.
The ironic thing about Fire Candle is that I think his base outfit is more Gyaru than Oto's base outfit, because I was not impressed by. She was preaching like Gyaru is about be outside the box, being yourself, and she's wearing the most boring outfit known to man.
Yeah, this is very plain.
Like, what are they talking about?
But yeah, Fire Candle is Gyaru, now that you mention it. But Fire Candle steals Oto's, not just her ring, but her universe changer, or her silver Tega sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And he becomes the universe warrior Shenkinred.
Which
he says true Shenkinred.
I do feel like it's one of those things where it's like, oh, he's probably gonna lose it after next episode. But I really don't want him to. Like, my boy Fire Candle deserves everything, man. He's just trying to he's just trying to be a cool guy.
I like how on like he refers to himself as the true Shenkinred, but on Ranger Wiki they refer to him as Shenkinred 2. And then Oto is just Shenkinred. So I feel like...
Ooh, I know he would be mad as hell reading that.
He'd be so mad.
To be fair though, it's a really like good choice, because the whole thing is Shenkinred is based on fire, like the fire element.
Oh yeah.
So also I just have to point this out quick. So when I was making notes for this episode and we got to this point, I just wrote down in all caps, quote, Fire Candle becomes universe Shenkinred, baby. That's my goat.
What? Here's what I think would be cool. So a few episodes ago, we met Ryugi's like babysitter or whatever she was,
like child maid.
Child maid, and she turned into a universe warrior as well, and she became like a berserker mode
corrupted
of that. Corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if we could see that with
Red Ranger.
What?
I think it was like Borsu Red Ranger or Red Racer.
It's a turbo one.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Red Racer. Yeah. But it was like Borsu, which is like motorcycle gang delinquent.
Oh, I see.
Except so being a delinquent, she was like, you're not looking when you cross the road, and then beats them up. Did she literally
like a very violent safety officer.
That was such a fun episode, though. I loved it.
She literally just kicked a guy off his bike.
So I'm wondering if we'll see that again with Fire Candle Shenkinred.
Yes,
like maybe his bad vibes might affect it.
Yes, because there is that look for Shenkinred where it's the corrupted black robe, which given Fire Candle's whole vibe with how he dresses. I think that would be kind of the perfect fit for Fire Candle if they went that route.
Yeah, but that was a definitely surprise. I mean, they allude to it earlier in the episode. He's like, "I need more power," and then he just shows up and fucking takes it. So I was like, when he said that, I was like, he should just become a universe warrior, and then he did, and it's like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, my guy.
And also it opens up the possibility of like Bouquet becoming a universe warrior.
Yeah,
like if they can just take them like that.
I'm trying to think who Bouquet would become, but I can't really figure it. I don't really have an opinion on that.
Side note about I have no idea what the next like episode entails, because like we get the shots of like the festival. I'm like, okay, how are they gonna pivot from that into this? But I just really like how... They
did say it was like, going to be like a Tegasword festival, so I'm wondering if it's just Ryugi set up a festival.
But I really like how Fire Candle has the Shenkinred festival mask to the side.
Yeah.
I really liked that a lot.
Like that's one of the things. I hope he stays Shenkinred for longer, and that becomes like a part of his design for a little bit.
Oh, with the little mask, that'd be cool.
That'd be great.
Yeah, man, I do kind of feel like it's going to be a one and done sort
me
of thing.
Too,
but
me
it
too.
would explain, if he kept it, it would explain why Oto would stay in a coma.
Yeah.
Because I sincerely doubt any of the Gozyugers are going to try and take her ring.
Yeah.
From Sumino's sister.
Speaking of Oto, something I wanted to bring up is, so I've had this theory for maybe the past 8-9 episodes where each of the Gozyuger team were, I feel like they were chosen because they've lost something. This is like my theory I've been running on. So, like, Rikuo lost his fame.
Idol career.
Yeah, his career and his fame. Ryugi lost essentially his family. Like, he ran away.
Tono lost his family.
Sumino
Gozyueagle lost his youth.
Yeah, essentially his youth, and he's like trying to get that back. Gozyuwolf, lost his family. Or you could say like his childhood too, maybe.
Yeah.
But in that way, I was thinking, okay, Oto is also like she's literally just lost her memories. So it's like the price to pay for becoming a Gozyuger or a universe warrior is to lose something, so that you have a wish, which is usually to get that back.
Reverse engineering that thought pattern, couldn't you just say, like, most people are universe warriors because they have something to wish for in the first place?
Yeah.
And wishing often involves loss for getting something
it's
back,
like
maybe?
You can say so, but
half empty
like...
sitch, I think.
Yeah, to me, it's like, they're being very clear that there is a very, like, clear inciting incident for them.
Mm-hmm.
So if we think about the character that became Gal Red, he had the very inciting incident of he lost his wife and his wish was to get her back. And it's a case of like these universe warriors, a lot of the time, when they're defeated, like they will gain their wish. Like universe Don Momotaro realized all he wanted was a friend.
Right.
So with Oto, my point was, so she's lost her memories. That's like what she's lost. So there's two kind of things. I feel like either she'll get her memories back by the end of like next episode, but then I'd be unsure of what to think of what Sumino's new wish would be, or she will just lose the Shenkinred powers, or maybe she will get them back, but she still won't remember. And then Sumino's wish will change because if she still has amnesia, she's still in a way lost her sister because that person doesn't exist. So her wish will change will be to get her sister back, but in more of like a make her remember who she is kind of way.
Sure.
So that's kind of been my thinking and how it kind of ties into Oto's character. So I am curious to see how that plot will develop next episode, because I really can't decide. Like, it probably is obvious that she will get her universe ring back, but in my eyes, like it's a bit more kind of iffy. But that might just be because I really want to see Fire Candle keep it.
Well, we'll find out. Well, I think this was a pretty cool episode.
Yeah, I mean, before we end, I also just wanted to quickly say, what did we think of the the mecha fight this episode? Because we got
I like
it
his
was
big
a little bit nothing burger, man.
I like this big surfboard a lot. I like that
the guy had a big surfboard
and he was a boyfriend.
Blew him up.
Yeah, Whiteburn was really cool again, and I'll say I'm only bringing this up because I just wanted to say one thing. There's one more which I missed the first time we watched it, but they're in Whiteburn and gozyupolar says, "I haven't stolen the show enough yet this week." Like
he loves breaking the fourth wall.
Is like, why are you here again? He's like, nah, I've got to get in some screen time.
I earn my check.
I gotta be honest, because I thought that was really funny. It just kind of slips by that joke. But I am very excited for next week. Because I thought this would be a very much a one and done episode. I didn't think we'd be getting a 2-parter, but that's although the kind of I feel like the Gyaru focus then did. This is going to continue into next week, which I am curious on how it'll go.
I think they've been doing like 2-episode arcs pretty consistently.
They have
for a while now. But yeah, that's Gozyuger. Another great episode. And yeah, next week is the next episode of that.
Wow.
Now enjoy this recap of Kamen Rider Gavv, episode 42. Hey, I just wanted to pop in and say this video is sponsored by GamerSupps. GamerSupps is an energy drink mix that gives you the caffeine you need for the day, without all the drawbacks of soda or energy drinks. I really like it and recommend it. And if you use my code dumbjake at checkout, you'll get 10% off your order. And I'll get a little kickback. A win-win. Okay, ad over. I'm going to recap the events of Kamen Rider Gavv episode 42, which is titled Beyond Broken Hearts. Zombie Suga in his marbled break cookie form uses the baked magnum to brainwash Kamen Rider Valen into wanting to destroy Gavv and Vram. The two Kamen Riders are able to stop Honto and they take him back to Rakia's home. They try to calm Honto down, but the only thing that works is Rakia's Granute form ability to make people happy and complacent. Shoma and Rakia leave to figure out the situation with Suga, and while they're gone, Honto is internally fighting Suga's mind control. Meanwhile, Suga is using the baked magnum to send people to the beach to drown themselves, including Shoma's friend, the candy shop owner Masaru. Gavv and Vram catch wind of this and begin following these mind-controlled zombies. Sachika thinks she finds Suga, but it actually turns out to be Lango, who is hiding in plain sight, watching what Nyelv is doing. Shoma and Rakia arrive at the beach and try to stop the people from walking into the ocean. The only remedy is Rakia's Granute ability, which Sachika witnesses for the first time. Nyelv and Bitter Gavv show up, and the battle begins. Nyelv transforms into his brutal Granute form, and the battle heats up as Honto appears. It's not clear if he's still brainwashed at first, but he hits Nyelv with a spinning headbutt, revealing he broke the mind control through his own will. While Valen distracts Nyelv, Gavv in overmode is able to disarm Bitter Gavv, and Vram destroys the baked magnum with his shield, releasing all the humans from Suga's mind control. The humans, including Masaru, encounter the Kamen Riders in the woods, and are at first scared because they think they're monsters, but Sachika swoops in and informs them that they are the Kamen Riders that fight the monsters. After this, Masaru reads Honto's article on Granutes, and begins to connect the dots of his sister's disappearance. Meanwhile, Honto finally reveals to Shoma that Masaru is his uncle, and the episode ends with Shoma reeling from this information.
Wow, that was such a great recap, Jake.
Oh my god, thank you. Thank you. Everyone's been saying it, but I just gotta say, I think it's true. I am great at recapping.
It was so good, Jake.
I really liked it when you
No,
hired the entire animation studio to recreate the episode from scratch.
That's right. And Morgan Freeman does play Kamen Rider Gavv. I pulled some strings.
That was so good.
Some strings.
And we got Timothy Chalamet to play Honto.
Oh my god. He would play Honto in the American remake, though. I'm just saying.
Tom Holland as Shoma.
I don't know if I like that. I don't think Tom Holland has enough whimsy to be Shoma.
But you know, that's exactly what would happen if it became a... If they did
Yeah. You're right. But Timmy C as Honto, I believe it. I believe in that. Kamen Rider Gavv, episode 42. This one was pretty interesting. So it obviously starts off with Honto being mind controlled, which was kind of funny. Love the part where Gavv in overmode is like holding him up. Like someone posted a picture of him holding it up and someone holding a kitten by the neck.
Yeah,
it's like it's like so true.
Yeah. And then they have to tie him to a chair while he is just raging out. I was
very funny.
The
they made the weakest. It's very funny they made the weakest Kamen Rider the angry one. It's like
weakest.
Yeah, if they had shot Kamen Rider Vram, he would have fucked up Hato and Shoma.
He didn't get like surgery in some guy's basement to be called the weakest.
Well, he did all that and he is still the weakest.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Poor Hato.
It's evidence based here. He gets his ass beat every episode.
He has BL power.
That's true. That's true. He is strong in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
And strong at crying and being upset.
And speaking
like, he's
of
the
BL,
all-star player of that.
Speaking of BL, I'm sure plenty of shippers were very happy at seeing what I have coined as Feral Hanto tied on the chair. Tied on the chair
He's mad.
and raging out. I know
pissed
some people had
off.
some ideas based on that. I will say
Are some people in the room with us right now?
You can't see it, but I'm like making that one face like Grug does from the Croods.
Okay. I don't know why people started memeing the Croods. That's not even a movie I've ever watched.
If this video hits 50 likes, we'll make dumbjake watch the Croods.
I like how that is the highest like goal so far. 50 episodes of Boom Boom J is 30 likes. Watching the Croods is 50.
The Croods is more important.
It's true.
I can imagine all the Fujoshis watching the scene of Hanto tied in the chair, and it's like the Croods where he goes, "I have an idea."
Okay, I don't get the reference.
I call it yaoi. Rhymes with grug.
What the fuck? Okay. So Hanto's tied up. He has a literal angel and devil segment in the episode where he beats the mind control. I was not expecting Devil Hanto and Angel Hanto to literally be at the show. I kind of wish they made them tiny and on his shoulder. Like, just go full in on it, okay? If you're gonna do the Angel and Devil thing.
That would just make it Ultimate Spider-Man 2012, if anyone remember that show.
No! Nobody watched that!
I watched it!
Guardians of the Galaxy, no one watched... I'm so mad they called that show Ultimate Spider-Man. That pissed me off so bad. How dare they respect that goat of a fucking comic book by calling that show Ultimate Spider-Man.
He had the angel.
That is some held back rage being exposed
He had
here.
the angel and the devil.
Yeah. I love like you could frame it as it's not an angel and devil, it's his normal chocolate, the Choco Don, and the dark chocolate, the Chocold that Suga made him.
Yeah.
Because
I guess you could.
So it's literally his like light and dark sides in that way too.
It was so the jackets were so goofy. I hate to say it, but they were.
His jackets are always goofy. It's always a leather jacket and a Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, he's got swag. He got that shit on.
He dresses like
He's lucky Sean is so dumb because if anyone else met him, they would not fall in love with him.
He dresses like a loan shark, and I'm gonna be real. When I watched the first episode and I saw him for the first time, I thought he was like a loan shark, just based on.
He did immediately give me villain when I first met him.
Yeah, which I think is kind of intentional.
This guy's gonna be an asshole. Yeah. Well. I think they diffuse it pretty well when the lady's like, "You're terrible. You have terrible manners." In the first episode,
and then his mentor is like, "Ah, yes, that woman probably killed her husband," and he's like, "What?"
Yeah. Shisho, what you talking about, Shisho? There's no evidence of that.
Rest in peace to that guy, I guess.
Rest in peace.
Rest in
Miss
peace.
Him. Miss him every day.
You know who else I miss? Uncle Dente. Rest in peace.
Uncle Dente.
We miss Uncle Dente every week here.
But this show's going uncle for uncle though, like
yeah.
Uncle Dente dead, but new uncle arriving
at the end.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because they're setting it up. I'm wondering. So I mean, in case you don't know, for some reason you didn't pay attention to the recap. Shoma's uncle is Masaru, who is a candy shop owner that's been in the show for like 10 episodes straight. He's just been like a minor character that Shoma talks to sometimes. And it's revealed that his sister was Shoma's mom, who got kidnapped by Granoots. And at the end of this episode, he's reading Hanto's article on Granoots, and he's kind of putting two and two together. What? Are we making fun of me right now? What's happening?
I'm sorry. The way you say it, I just think it's like Pingu. Newt.
What the fuck?
Granute.
Granute. How am I supposed to say it?
I think it's like granute. Like you got to pretend there's a Y in there. Granute.
Newt? No, absolutely not.
like granule.
Granite. They eat rocks.
The granute.
Their whole society is based around rocks. The granutes. God damn it.
I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm
crash out.
The audience, if you can't tell, we're pretty late into the recording of this.
This is like a gauntlet.
We have been sitting here recording for 3 hours now.
What the fuck was I saying before you started laughing at me?
You were talking about uncles. His uncle.
Uncle, yeah, he's going uncle for uncle. Masaru putting it together that Hanto wrote that article and he's reading it and he's kind of connecting the dots on his own. And then the episode ends with Hanto revealing that Masaru is Shoma's uncle to Shoma.
Yeah.
Which is obviously a shock to him. He's been like pretty casual friends with this guy for like months probably in the show. And then just finding out he's his uncle, that's kind of... And the uncle owns a candy shop, like...
It was meant to be.
It's
written
all
so
coming
well.
together.
Yeah.
I'm kind of worried that Masaru connects the dots here, and then he's like apprehensive of Shoma, since Shoma is half Granute. Obviously, like maybe it's not gonna be like.
But that's like a kid. You know,
people are not always understanding.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But I mean,
Hanto was mad at first as well until he understood.
I feel like it's a little bit different because like that's like technically your like nephew, you know, and if Hanto is like, oh, that's just some like dick who like, you know, but like with Masaru, it's like that's his nephew, so I feel like there might be at least more sympathy there.
I hope so. I would prefer, based on how the show goes, I kind of don't foresee that actually happening. Like I think back to how Sachika acted when Hanto revealed that Shoma is a Granute to her.
Oh, speaking of Sachika,
yeah,
we also got that vram reveal, the reveal that he's a Granute.
Yeah. So
well, she knows he's a Granute. She didn't know what he looked like or his powers. So that's what she witnessed for the first time, was him being a Granute, like in his form and using those complacency powers he has.
Yeah. Something I saw mentioned on Twitter is that she like sees it, she like hides behind the bush and then she peeks back out. Like she's interested.
I'm
playing into your ship here, Jake. I know you ship them, Jake.
I do. I think they belong together.
You're like a minority hetero ship.
I ship them too. We support multiple ships in one show here.
Not to be homophobic, but I ship the straight couple.
God damn it!
Not to be homophobic, but Jake 2025.
I mean, it's like I ship it too.
Take that one out of context and post it on Twitter.
Yeah, we gotta clip it.
But yeah, I don't think she's like disgusted by him or anything. I totally think that would be out of her character. But I do think she's gonna ask him in a future episode about it. I feel like she's gonna talk to him about his true form.
Yeah.
Like, I could almost see her being like, yeah, I do think they can fall in love and get married, actually. But I think I could see her totally being like, hey, if you want to be your true self around the house or whatever, feel free.
Yeah,
that sort of thing. And because she probably didn't even think about the fact that he hides himself, like his true form, from them all the time. He's never like his actual form. So I could see her, like, they're setting it up to make it look like she's scared of him, but she's actually very understanding, just like she's been the whole season in the show.
Absolutely.
But I did like that. I'm glad you pointed that out, Reggie. We got Nyelv's full Granute form as well.
Yeah.
Sick.
Which
I did not
surprisingly
expect it.
buff. I was expecting like a more slim, he's snake themed. So I was expecting someone not as buff and menacing, but he just turned into a fucking
okay, to be fair,
Yeah.
do you know, like, the muscle power, like, boa constrictors need to, like, do that? Snakes are strong. Like, there's no, like, it's all muscle. Snakes are all muscle.
Since they're all sort of, like, Viking themed, I guess you'd say, like, Glota is a kraken, and then the twins were like wolves.
Nordic.
He's probably like the he's probably like Nidhogg or whatever, like the snake that eats earth.
Yeah,
based on that. So I think it makes more sense that he's buff. I just was not I was expecting a slim, quick fighter, and he uses a bow and arrow as well. So it's kind of weird.
Correction:
He's buff as hell with a
bow and arrow at close range, which is insane.
I will say this. Something really cool I noticed is that his weapon is pretty much exactly what Vram's weapon is, which is really cool if you consider the fact that he gave Vram his form and weapon.
Yeah,
it's essentially because what Nyelv has is essentially a bow, but the arms of the bow are like bladed. I'm not sure if we see him use it like a blade, but you can see they're you can see they're sharp. So so it's almost like how
he modeled it after himself.
Exactly, because Vram's is also like it's more like a scythe thing that turns into a bow. So it's pretty similar in that way. I think that's a really cool like detail. Also, I just have to talk about how much I've said this to you two in passing, or maybe more than in passing, but I adore Nyelv's Granute design. Like, I think the Stomach family in general have been, like, just top tier in design.
It's peak.
Yeah.
Nyelv's in particular is just my absolute favourite. You got, like, the long snake fangs on his, like, waist mouth. You got the small, like, beady orange eyes, and just like all these details running through the suit, which is mostly black. I think it's just such a cool design. I can't remember the last time I liked Toku design this much, actually. I was having a lot of fun with it.
I think Lango or Glota still has the best design for me. I really like Glota's was crazy looking.
Glota's design is awesome.
I'm less of a fan of Glota's design. But I mean, they're still better than Sheeta and Jeeves. Sheeta and Jeeves are just like little wolves.
They're pretty basic, but they're like.
I thought they were cats initially. I didn't realize they were supposed to be wolves.
I think they're wolves. I mean, I don't know what
I think they are like wolves or dogs, just because, like, once again.
Yeah, because the thing is meant to be like, if it's that Nordic mythology thing, isn't it like the sun and the moon are like wolves or something like that?
Fuck if I know.
Hi, welcome to the Untitled.
Sounds real. I'll believe it.
Hi, welcome to the Untitled Anthropology podcast. We're gonna take a deep dive into all of Nordic mythology.
This is the Untitled Misinformation podcast.
Yeah, in Norse
Wolves
mythology...
are the sun and the moon.
It pretty much is. In Norse mythology, Skoll and Hati are two wolves who chase the sun and moon respectively. There you go. Yeah.
That makes sense.
There's another point
I'll
in it being
incorporate that into my belief system.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hanto breaks his mind control, beats up Nyelv. Pretty awesome. Grabs him by the face and slams him on the ground.
Dude, that show is so sick. Oh my god.
Yeah. I do think one great part about that is it's essentially like Because essentially this is, although differently, because it's by hypnotization this time, this is essentially a repeat of Hanto being put under control by Suga. The difference is, this time, instead of needing Shoma's help with his new Gochizo to break out, he's able to do it by his own strength, which I think is really cool. It's essentially
his relationship with Suga is fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I really like that aspect of the episode. Well, I think it's interesting that the whole thing is them using the Big Magnum to mind control people.
Oh my god, that was so messed up. And
Suga is sending them into the ocean to drown. Yeah, that's
exactly.
Like, what even is the point of that?
He doesn't even benefit. Why is he doing that?
Yeah, it's essentially like a Pied Piper thing.
Yeah.
He's just a freak.
So, because
I think Nyelv just wanted to test the limits. Like, maybe they'll drown themselves. Let's see if they'll kill themselves.
I think that's exactly what it is. Because when I rewatched the episode, Vram's like having to use his toxins to stop them and immobilize the people, and Nyelv is like, "Oh well, whatever. My experiment was a success." But you can see, like, before he toxined them, he was literally having to physically stop them from entering the water. Like, they were getting down to their knees, and he was like trying to push them back. So although they never explicitly say it, Nyelv was literally just sending probably about 3 or 4 dozen humans to walk into the sea and drown themselves.
For no fucking reason.
Just to prove that his device works.
I do like that destroying the Big Magnum just makes him not mind controlled. Always love one of those. It is funny so Vram destroys the Big Magnum with his shield by shooting it.
Oh yeah,
and
that was crazy. He just shot his shield like an arrow.
Yeah. It destroys a Big Magnum, and right above the shield is Nyelv's face, and he kind of hits the Rizzler pose. He just he kind of just hits one of those Rizzler poses, and he's like, I think it was like he's impressed.
It was like the anime glasses push.
Yeah, but his glasses are off. So
he had
to hit the Rizzler.
Kev, how many more times can we say Rizzler before the episode ends?
Rizzler.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, 8. That's how many likes this video needs to get.
Sachika ran into Lango.
Oh yeah.
So
randomly.
That is actually the second time this has happened. So I'm wondering if they're trying to set up something about this encounter between Sachika and Lango being important. Because if you remember quite a couple episodes back, there's when Lango, like, the only time he does it before he gets killed, he comes to the human realm, confronts Shoma, and, like, sicks his minions on Shoma. This was the episode where it was the Granyu disguising as a kid and, like, going on dating sites.
Yeah. But did Sachika see Lango in the episode?
So
she said she recognized him.
She did. So she bumped into him and looked at him. So there was something. So that happened in that episode, and then this episode we get essentially the same thing where she meets up with him. She doesn't know who he is. He doesn't know who she is. But there's something there, and she's like, I recognize him. So part of me's thinking that's leading into a confrontation in the future between Lango and Sachika. I'm not sure how exactly that would work, but it's interesting that they're almost hinting towards that.
Yeah, maybe Lango joins Shoma. Maybe he sees I don't foresee a forgiveness thing happening. I mean, I don't know. Obviously,
what did Lango ever do? He just kind of sat in his seat in the headquarters and was like,
he ran Stomach Inc., man. They killed thousands of people to make candy.
Also, it feels like
what are you talking about?
Most of the time, he was just sitting in his chair and being like, "What? This is happening?" Like he never knew what was going on for the first half of the show, and then eventually, when he was like, "Okay, I'm finally gonna go do something about it," he gets killed in 2 episodes.
Okay, just because he's bad at being in charge doesn't mean he's not in charge.
Is Sachika gonna, like, Steven Universe him? Is that, like...
That's what I was gonna bring that up, like...
Oh,
I don't know if you can in this show. It's so... Like, you watch Hanto's mom get dissolved by Lango, and it's like, I don't think you can Steven Universe that, bro. I don't think
it's that one Steven Universe comic where it's like, damn, we gotta kill this guy, Steven.
Yeah.
Sorry, Shova.
Like, maybe Lango joins them momentarily. Like, he has a hero moment, but I think he dies no matter what by the end of the show.
I agree with that. Maybe he like
or goes to prison.
Because it also feels like the president is kind of being introduced as a secondary final villain. So I'm wondering if maybe Lango kind of maybe he interacts with Sachika more, like not knowing who she is. She doesn't know who he is, and he gains like an understanding of the human realm. Because right now, essentially, all Lango's doing is just wandering around the human realm. We know he hasn't gone back to the Granute world, I assume, to keep the fact that he's alive a secret. So I'm wondering if he's wandering around the human realm, he'll gain more of an understanding of humans, like how Lakia did. And then through conversing with Sachika, not knowing she's connected to Shoma, or her knowing that he is the leader of the Stomach family, he'll grow to understand he's done wrong, and he'll kind of sacrifice himself to get a near lethal blow on the president.
I think some like obviously a lot of the Stomach family is like they're terrible people, but I think a lot of like sometimes it is implied that you don't write it like a good like antagonist, like a good like villain. You gotta like like give them a reason, because like someone who is evil for no reason is just really boring. And we've seen that a lot. It's like I think it's very much implied that the Stomach family is just kind of like a really messed up family.
Yeah.
And it's like, like I think with like Glada, especially in the episode that happened a few weeks ago with rest in peace my goat Dente.
Yeah, Uncle Dente.
I think it shows them in a more sympathetic light, but doesn't like
resolve them.
It doesn't like you realized that you were hurt and that undoes all your actions and you're good forever now. It's like I think hurt people can still do bad things and not get redeemed for them. So I think I don't know, maybe like Jeeb. I don't know what's going on with Jeeb.
Jeeb is far gone. Like,
I don't.
I do think we saw Baki stick in the preview for next episode, so we're getting more Jeep crash out moments next episode. The weekly Jeep crash out. Oh, we didn't get it this week, but
it's interesting. There's a lot of plot lines going on right now, and only 8 episodes left. So I do feel like we're gonna start getting some stuff wrapped up here soon. We also need like a final conflict to happen, which we don't. Obviously, Nyelv is planning something with the president regarding this mind control stuff. So I feel like that is going to come into play big time. Maybe they're going to try and mind control all of Japan or some shit like that.
Yeah.
The candy.
So we definitely have a lot that we need to get through before these 8 episodes end, and it's really exciting. Like, Shoma's just finding out about Masaru. That's probably gonna come into play next episode.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much that needs tidying up before the show ends.
I'm
so excited to see how they do it.
I do think it can be done, though, because if we list it out quick, it's Shoma meeting Masaru and finally like meeting his family. That's his story arc pretty much done, because his stuff with the stomachs, he's already, when he got his final form, he's already said, like, I've got my own family now with Sachika and Hanto. Then in terms of the stomach family, we've got Lango, we've got the president and his daughter, and we've got
Jeeb and Nyelv.
But Nyelv, I feel like, is going to end next episode, so
You think Nyelv is done next episode?
I mean, to be fair, he was almost beat this episode. He just kind of ran away.
That's true.
At the end.
That's true.
I feel like I wouldn't be surprised either way if it like ended or if like he pulled out something. Like, I feel like at this point, like anything could happen.
I don't know. I'm just excited to see what happens next. It's been such a good show. So exciting to watch every week.
Yeah. Are you excited? Because Gavv is probably just going to be your first Toku finale experience, isn't it?
Yeah.
both of yous.
I'm expecting like all the hype final battle stuff happens in the second to last episode, and then the last episode is like wrap up.
Yeah,
it's kind of what I'm expecting.
They do that
know.
sometimes. Yeah,
because I don't want it to just like they defeat the final bad guy and then it's over.
No,
it's like I want to know
that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen.
Okay.
What I expect it'll be either like the final fight finishes in the second to last episode, or there'll be like half of the last episode dedicated to the aftermath. That's typically how it goes, I think. But we should get a pretty good aftermath. Plus, there's always going to be the V Cinema releases afterwards. So like, I mean, we always get like at least one, usually maybe 2 or even 3 extra movies, which is usually like based on side characters. So we might get a Hanto movie or a Vram movie, or hell, if somehow like Lango survives, or we could get a Lango movie, which would be very cool.
Lango movie.
And you know, there's actually something I wanted to mention because somehow I didn't notice it until this episode, and Lango's scar is just gone, unless it's like
I noticed that.
Like I'm wondering if it'd be a shame if it's only on his granute form, but if it's
probably
just healed,
only on his granite. The human form is just a avatar, really. So
you're
makes
right.
sense that wouldn't change.
Yeah, you're right. So
yeah,
I mean,
it's like an Xbox 360 avatar.
Hopefully they do keep the scar though, because that would be that's just too
in
cool
his granite form,
it'll
go hard.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. That's it for Gav. We're gonna wrap up in the next segment. All right, that's another episode of the Untitled Toku podcast. But before we go, we end every episode with a very special segment that Reggie is gonna intro this time.
Okay.
What? I'm not sure
I don't like being
caught
put
up
on
on the recording, but Reggie's mic died for a second there.
Did it not
This is
pick up?
brave.
It was like the most distant. Oh god.
This was Aiden's idea, but I'm pitching it because I know a lot more about this. Is a PlayStation 1 title created to advertise a hit soda property, Pepsi, the hit game Pepsiman? Do you think it's Tokusatsu?
Do I think the Pepsiman game is Tokusatsu?
Pepsiman in general, because like there's a story. Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Ow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the game is it's like Subway Surfers, but like worse to play. It plays the same loop of the song, and your goal is you're trying to get to like the Pepsi vending machine to like.
Well, actually, I do know this. I watched Moist Critical play it back in the day. I remember.
I did it. I played it myself.
Pepsi man. Okay, here we go. I'm just me, a peasant, watching it on YouTube.
Yeah. But you're collecting these like Pepsi cans, and you're like restocking the Pepsi machine, the vending machine at the end, and also you can die.
Okay.
There are like so many like obstructions, like there are like so many of the obstacles in the game are like construction based. You can like fall into like a very deep like pit and die. You can get hit by a car and die. You can like get hit by like piles of wood on like cranes and stuff and die. But like I mean,
all real life, hazards.
And
every day.
I know like the argument is that like there isn't really like a villain or an antagonist. Which is
time.
which is why it wouldn't like be classified as like Tokusatsu as a whole. But I think his like
is that why? Is that the reason?
Well, yeah, because I think
I can think of a few others.
It fits because like he looks like that, and it's like superhero adjacent. He looks like that, and there's a genre of like Tokusatsu characters that are based off of like actual, like organizations, companies, products. Why can't
there is?
Yeah.
I mean, look at your favorite dog.
How could you do that to Yamashiron from Dojengers?
Did I pronounce it?
I don't. I didn't watch that.
He's like basically like a Toku hero for like a gas company.
Cool.
Yeah. I think we've talked before about ones where it's like there's Dent Man who advocates for brushing teeth, although I'm not sure if he's for any particular company. There's like pharmacy ones.
These are all dojingers.
Not all of them.
Not all of them. Just dojingers is a part of it. The whole thing is called like it's like the genre called like local heroes or something. I don't know much about it. But my point is, I feel like Pepsiman has like the starting capability to turn into something like you like get him like a villain whose like whole thing is about like cavities and like brushing your teeth and like eating healthy. And it's like, there you go.
So, the main argument someone might make is that because it's not live action, it doesn't count. Tokusatsu means special effects.
But Jake, this is where I come in because
he's ulting.
He's ulting.
Pepsiman the game. I can understand why you may not call that Tokusatsu, but you only need look at the Pepsiman adverts which aired in Japan. Which
adverts?
Because the Pepsiman adverts, in all their glory, there is a big asterisk I will mention in a sec. The adverts are live action, and it's all like it's very Tokusatsu coded. It's essentially it's a citizen crying. They are in need, and Pepsiman comes running to deliver a fresh cold Pepsi.
It's a guy in a suit, right?
But
it's 3D animated. CGI. It's CGI.
God damn it!
that right there is the asterisk. Is that the Pepsiman in the advert
there's a lot of CGI
character, but I would argue if there is one like occurrence in real life of Pepsi making a real suit and like going to a fan meetup, doing like what local heroes do in Japan, there is absolutely reason to say that is Tokusatsu, because the character canonically in the adverts, there is absolutely canon to this. The character canonically goes and saves people from their
lack of Pepsi
by delivering them Pepsi. And then if there is a suit in real life, that I think that absolutely makes it Tokusatsu.
Did you guys know that Pepsi Man has a mouth?
Yeah, like at the end of the episode, at the end of the advert, he holds his hand out and goes like, he makes it like a sound, which is like the sound of a Pepsi can opening, and he makes like an O shape with his mouth. Yeah, there you go.
God!
I could.
Ew!
I think I could
rewrite what the fuck?
The Pepsi Man franchise into a Toku series. Just give me like.
I think it's.
That's the thing.
Is he wearing a chain?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he wears a chain. He wears a chain. He's dripped.
Why has he got a chain?
Because he's cool.
he's got that shit on, but it just is surprising.
He has toys too.
You know what?
He has toys.
Well, that's essential to Toku. Okay,
like
there's a point for him.
He has these little like bottle caps.
Oh yes, I've seen these in videos.
Yes, and I will say this: these types of bottle caps, I have seen Kamen Rider and Sentai merch of this exact thing, where it's the bottle caps with like their heads
I
on.
love the one with him and the chicken leg. That's awesome.
What's the one with him just like squatting in the back middle?
I don't know. He's working his glutes, bro. Here's my thing.
He's an inspiration for the kids.
In favor of goddamn Pepsi Man. I will say that I know in Dawn Brothers, there's characters that are completely CGI, correct?
That is true.
There's a couple Rangers.
That is true.
They're fully CGI.
The pink and the black Ranger in Dawn Brothers, because they are very tall and very short, respectively, like in up close shots, they'll have like the real person in a suit, but whenever you see their full body, it's a full CGI character.
You're right. One of them looks like a Sonic the Hedgehog character.
There's also a Pepsi woman. So if we're talking about like,
there's a Pepsi woman.
Yeah.
They made Pepsi Man woke.
I feel like this depiction.
Nothing is safe from DEI.
I feel like this depiction of Pepsi woman is the opposite of woke.
Is it like very egregiously? Okay, first of all, what is with the lemon balaclava? And
I don't know. I'm watching these ads on mute. It's really interesting.
Woke grok be like.
There's a Pepsi
BEAI.
Man watch. Hold on.
Anything?
That's his like thing. Like that's his like a gov.
Wait, what?
The Pepsi Man watch.
What?
Yo, I need that.
What the fuck?
Hold on, I need that.
Finally, Pepsi Man driver.
And anything
What the
Pepsi
hell?
Man related on like eBay or something is so it's like stupid expensive.
Wait,
I was trying to get the
another
original Pepsi Man game for my PlayStation, and it was like over
hell no.
100.
I found another one. How is there more than one Pepsi Man watch?
Yo, that goes hard though. This is what they should
Cooler
give.
than Kamen Rider
I was
Zets.
gonna say this is what they should have given him.
The fact that we are making Toku comparisons, I tell you now, if it
my vote is on yes.
If there is one real suit for Pepsi Man that exists that Pepsi has used for a fan meetup or something, I would absolutely say that Pepsi Man is Tokusatsu.
I'm already saying that Pepsi Man is Tokusatsu.
On a vote of
yeah, I'll agree.
let's go.
Yeah.
Can you
Is
play
that
Here's
our
a secret.
first?
Here's a secret. Everything is Tokusatsu.
If you think hard enough, everything is Tokusatsu. That should be what this segment is in the future. This segment should just be, let's pick the most insane
House MD.
Yes, exactly. We take something like House MD and we try to justify why it's Tokusatsu. That's what this segment
less,
should become.
This is
And that
less
makes it-
posing the question, is this Tokusatsu? And now it's becoming, this is Tokusatsu.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not remaking the logo. I already
You
made
just have to swap around
can
some
make
words.
it. I can make a new logo if you want. I am willing to do that.
it. But I think we should wrap up this episode because we've been recording for so long.
Indeed.
It's actually a problem.
I could
We
go for
cannot
a
record
Pepsi.
this long every time.
I could go for a Pepsi.
I could go for a man. All right, let's wrap this up.
That's wow.
Thanks for watching. I'm Dumb Jake. You can find me Dumb Jake everywhere. And then Reggie.
Go to my website. Go to my website. Go to my website.
You can't just say go to my. Say what the website is.
Go centipede.gov, Instagram, Twitter, Tumblr.
Yep. There's multiple websites. Crazy that you. Not
Little Caesars.
No. Hold on. You do not call it Geocities.
Why do you say it then?
GeoCities.
No way.
GeoCities.
Yeah, Geo.
You know-
Geocities? Geocities, bro.
You know that one scene from Mega Man? Not Mega Mind, where he's like, Metrocity.
Metrocity.
Metrocity. GeoCities, LittleCaesarsSavings.com.
Okay, Aiden.
You can find me on Twitter, Aiden's_stash. There's not much there.
No, you're working on it. You're working on your Twitter career.
I am
You're growing.
working on
You're
it.
blowing up.
I am
You're
working
blowing
on
up.
it
And
right
that's
now.
Since
like
last
you
podcast-
buddy.
Follow me if you want to see me post live reactions to all the news coming out around Toku. Which who knows? Maybe they're hot takes. I will post them so fast that I will not know if they're hot takes
You don't even
until
think
an
about
opinion
them.
is formed. I will post
Bro.
before anyone can form their opinion, and then I will get heat afterwards. Who knows? That's the fun in following me.
Alright, that's the episode. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Pepsi
Bye.
Man. That song is on loop on the PlayStation game and it's annoying.
Pepsi Man.
Pepsi Man. Oh my god, I need to go lie down.